What's up everybody, it's CJ and I'm back with another Pleasantville renovation video. So today we're going to be furnishing 190 Main Street. This is the last house that is in this style and I am so happy y'all because I was getting tired of furnishing houses like this because they're so oddly shaped and I feel like I have to spend so much time doing the floor plans. It's just a lot. So this is the last one. I purposely waited a little bit before I did this one because you may remember a couple of weeks ago I was saying there was a house I was working on and then the game crashed. Yeah, this was that house. So I was like, you know what, let me just take a couple weeks off and we'll come back to it. And I'm kind of glad I did because the end result is so good, yo. I like it so much. So this is a house for a couple of roommates. So both of them are in university and this is basically the party house. Since this is like the party house, they don't really take the best care of this house. So in the yard, we have some overgrown grass. There's a lot of clutter and just stuff all in the house. But I really like the premise behind this house. So like I said, usually when I do these kind of furnishing videos, I don't always have the whole story together, you know? Sometimes I'll have a rough outline of what I kind of want to do. And then as I furnish or think about it a little bit more, the story just kind of evolves. So this house went from being about a house for a couple of roommates to now one of those roommates is a alien that is trying to take over the world. Meanwhile, the other roommate is just, you know, an average everyday kind of sim. They're in university on a sports scholarship, you know, so like the other sim doesn't really know about the alien and they definitely don't know the alien is trying to take over the world. I think it's kind of interesting. It's kind of giving like sitcom energy in a way. To further the story a little bit, the sim that is on a sports scholarship, he's just kind of like an average everyday sim, you know. He's in his 20s. He's gonna be finished with university soon-ish, and he's just really into partying, sports. You know, like how with university, we have a couple different like university logos with the pack. So I feel like they go to the Kangaroo University. I don't really know what the name of it is. I don't know if we have official names. I know it's like Sim State, but like I feel like, you know, maybe there's like a couple different ones, you know. So he goes to the one with the kangaroo for the logo. So you'll see a lot of the kangaroo like university stuff all over the house. Like for example, the couches have the print on it. I wanted this house to kind of have like man cave kind of vibe, but also it's kind of put together. It has a lot of stuff that they have probably taken or stolen from places. So it's a very like put together kind of house, you know. And since a couple of dudes live here, you know, it's just maybe not the cleanest as it could be, just saying, you know. So the sim that's on the sports scholarship, this house was actually given to him by his grandparents, so they willed it to him in their will. He was their only grandchild they ever had, so they were like, yeah, that way when you get older you don't have to worry about buying a house because you'll have one and all you really have to do is, you know, do upkeep and maybe pay the property taxes, but you don't really have to do much for it. So imagine this guy being in his 20s, right, in university. He's pretty much set for life anyway. I mean, like, his family has a little bit of money, so all he really knows is partying and just taking it easy and playing sports. So yeah, he doesn't really have any worries right now. If his grandparents could see the way that the house is now, like, they would be very upset with him, y'all. So that's basically the first sim. So the other sim is an alien sim. Now in the Sims 3, alien sims look like aliens, but in the Sims 4 they can hide their alien form to look more like, I guess, human-like. So we're gonna pretend that the alien in this story is kind of like a Sims 4 alien in a way where they can hide their form. So basically, the alien came from outer space and he was sent to Earth on an assignment to basically infiltrate Earth, learn all you can about it, and eventually report back to the homeworld so they can like come back and take over the world. So he was like, okay, well, if I'm tasked with being on Earth, I need to like go to a place where a lot of people learn things, you know, like a pillar of knowledge. So he went to university and now he's a student in university. Him and the sports sim, they had the same class together and they kind of just like, you know, bumped into each other, was talking and stuff like that. So basically, like, I guess through them meeting each other and talking and stuff, the sports guy found out that the alien didn't really have a place to stay. So he was like, oh, you can just stay with me. I have an extra room in my house. You don't even have to pay rent. All you really need to do is just help me with my work, or basically do my work for me, I guess. And you can stay for free. And the alien is like, bet, like, okay, I don't have to pay rent, I don't gotta work, and I could just like have a room and just do whatever I gotta do like after class. So it kind of works out in a way, but it would be a little annoying, I imagine, because the alien, you know, he likes his peace and quiet. He likes to go in his room, tinker on his little like experiments and stuff like that, and it's kind of hard to do that when you have like music pumping all day long, all night long. Like, I'm telling y'all, this is a party house, you know. It's not really that quiet here, and I'm pretty sure that the neighbors in the area hate this house so bad. I would imagine if this was like an HOA, they would be like kicked out by now or fined or something. Because like you'll see a little bit later in the video, like I said earlier, the grass has kind of overgrown in the yard and there's just like stuff everywhere. Like this house would not be up to code, I'm just saying. But luckily, I guess this is not an HOA, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so I kind of feel like in a way the alien hates being on Earth. I think he misses his home planet, but I feel like over time, the longer he's here, the more he's kind of warming up to Earth a little bit. So you'll see it in his room. There's a couple of like university sports posters hanging up. I kind of feel like the party sim is low-key kind of rubbing off on him. The party sim, he doesn't really like know how to connect to the alien that well, so it's more like, you know, we live together. I'm not gonna like bother him as long as he helping me with my homework. I don't really care what he does in his room, but I kind of feel like he wants to kind of like have him be a bro and hang out. So I feel like in some way he's kind of rubbing off on him a little bit, you know. I just realized too, y'all, I yapped over the whole downstairs. Basically, as you saw, we have like a kitchen, a living room, we have a study, and then upstairs we have a bathroom, which I kind of forgot that I did not put a bathroom at first, and I was like, bro, we need to fit one somewhere. So we have a upstairs bathroom. Now originally I was going to have the ensuite connect to the sports guy's room, but his room has access to a balcony, and I was like, I kind of want him to have access to the balcony. So basically the alien has an ensuite, which, you know, it's okay. It's a wraparound anyway. But yeah, so the bathroom is kind of older. Again, this was the sports guy's grandparents' house. So it's a little bit older, you know, old wood paneling. It's an older toilet and mirror and stuff like that. I did put a couple of towels up. So one of them is like sports themed. The other one is like space themed to kind of represent both of the roommates in a way. I feel like out of all the rooms, maybe like the bathroom is probably the cleanest, and maybe the hallway, because I feel like the alien guy is trying to clean a little bit. It's one of those things where like he's cleaning not because he wants to, but more so because he doesn't want like the house to get too bad, so he's like cleaning up a little bit, you know. And of course the sports guy does not care. He's like, oh cool, like he does not care. So now we move on to the upstairs. So the first room that we tackle is the sports guy's room. I gave him the bed from the university pack. I don't know why, I just wanted to use a lot of university stuff today. So we have the bed, the end table is from Pets. We have a lot of sports posters up on the wall as well. I gave him a little bookshelf. I was a little disappointed though, because there is this bookshelf that has cinder blocks on it. I thought it was in base game, but apparently it's stored content, so I couldn't use the bookshelf, because I like the idea of him maybe like trying to make furniture and stuff. So like in the backyard, we have like some makeshift furniture. There's a makeshift bookshelf in the study downstairs, so we could just pretend that maybe he made this bookshelf, but I wanted to use the one with cinder blocks. I thought it would have been like a lot funnier, but it's okay. It's okay. Also, he has the university bed sheets, a sports rug. I put like a lot of like banners and stuff like that in here as well. I even add more stuff off camera. So there's like a trophy case I put upstairs in his room. But now we move on to the alien room. So this room is like smaller. I gave the alien one of those small beds from the base game. Now, aliens in The Sims 3, they don't really need to sleep, so I feel like the alien probably won't even be sleeping anyway, you know? Maybe he'll pretend to sleep so he can look more normal, like, but he doesn't really need to sleep, so, and here he's mainly at his desk or, like, drawing out plans on his dry erase board, so I gave him that. I also was looking through the catalog for, like, more alien space kind of things, and I remembered that I used that column. I don't even know if it's, like, officially a column, but it's, like, a stage prop from the Showtime pack, and it's, like, futuristic. So I used one of those in here and I put it behind the dry erase board. Maybe that's like some alien technology from his home planet, you know. I also used the desk from Into the Future. We have the high-end loft stuff chair because it looks kind of futuristic in a way. I also gave him a jetpack. I swapped out this computer for the one from Into the Future because it's more futuristic, alien-esque, I would say. And then I also gave him a mirror, and I was trying to like find a space for this picture. It was too big, so I couldn't really use it. So I just moved the banner over, and then I also put some more clutter in here on the ground as well, like some more equipment parts, and then we have a nice rug, and that's pretty much everything for his bedroom. Like I said, y'all, he has a little bit of like university posters, you know, just to kind of, you know, represent the school. And then last but not least, we tackle the balcony. So on the balcony, I just put a treadmill and a weight machine. You know, the sports guy needs to stay in shape. He's probably up here a lot of the time just working out, training and stuff like that. I turned off move objects to make sure that it could fit up here properly. And then I also added a couple of outdoor lights just so that at nighttime you can see a little bit better. But in all, y'all, that's pretty much everything for the entire video. I really like how this house turned out. And I think the idea is kind of funny too. So hopefully you'll like it. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below. Follow me over on Twitch where I stream a lot more The Sims, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!